Alright, so I'm gonna make this short, I'm gonna make this sweet, I'm gonna make this straight to the point. Should you go see The Lion King? Yes! Okay, have a good rest of your day. No, honestly though, let me talk about the movie, man. So, if you guys are thinking about watching Lion King this weekend, you should go watch it. I saw it last night after like rewatching the original animated movie that in a long time. I was watching it like literally like I think 2 hours before the movie started. So and I just got a little refresher of everything. But all I can say about The Lion King, guys, I did a little short review on Instagram. So you guys want to see like my initial thoughts, go check out my Instagram story. It's on there right now. My Instagram is at Matthew V Haynes. Go follow me there. By the way, briefly, guys, I really enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed seeing everything. I enjoyed the visual effects. I enjoyed all that stuff. So while we're going to talk about this review, because it's a little bit all over the place, but I'm going to break it down like negatives, positives, things I liked, things I didn't like so much, and just overall thoughts about the movie. This movie is literally a shot-by-shot copy of the animated version with little differences here and there. They added a few different scenes that weren't in the original film, and they just, you know, little tiny bits and pieces of things. They changed some of the score, obviously, some tiny spots, but other than that, pretty much like 95% of this film is the same. I would even dare to say 98.9% or 99.9% of this movie is pretty much the same thing. The script is pretty much the same. I like certain lines I already knew they were gonna say them because it's said the same way that they said it in the animated movie. The musical numbers are placed in the same spot with a few minor changes to some, you know, like progressions, phrases, and even extensions of some of the songs. Most of the visual elements too were literally copied. Like as I mentioned, shot for shot, the opening sequence is pretty much identical. If you see in the trailer, if you see any side-by-side videos, you can actually see the comparisons practically the same. But I don't need to do a recap of the movie story, because you guys already know if you've seen The Lion King. But if you don't know, literally it's so simple. Simba is the son of the king Mufasa. Mufasa is teaching Simba how to be the king and how to rule Pride Rock, how to rule the area that's in front of him, and Simba has to now go on this challenge. Spoiler if you guys don't know, but spoiler, a certain someone dies, okay? And you know, Simba now has to figure out how to be a man and how to be a king and all this kind of stuff. So that's pretty much the essence of the story. For some reason, if you didn't know anything about The Lion King, that's what we dealing with. All right, let's start with the positives, actually. I don't even want to talk about negatives first. I'll start with the positives first, then we go to negatives. So things I liked, as I mentioned, the visual effects, I enjoyed them. I enjoyed the CGI and the animation, contrary to popular opinion. A lot of people didn't like it, but I felt that the CGI, and especially seeing it in the Dolby Cinema, I enjoyed a lot of the shots. A lot of the close-up shots were nice and clean. If I can see fur and stuff moving and waving and all that stuff with CGI, then that's a good sign for me. Like, I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the way how, again, certain shots were done, like with the cinematography, how they were panning certain things was done well, how they did a lot of follow shots, how that was done well. A+ for me on the visual effects. The acting was also very good. I enjoyed this version of young Simba more than I did the young Simba in the animated movie. Also, young Nala, I liked her a lot more in this. So basically, both of them did a splendid job. They did the roles. Like, I felt like I just felt really immersed in the film. I just felt really connected to a lot of the characters, and it's weird to say that because it's a line we're talking about. A lot of people would say that the moving mouth thing when the animals are talking, it's weird, but not to me. I think I enjoyed that. I mean, I didn't really see anything wrong with it. The colors and just the scenery, and like, you know, seeing a lot of these African animals and beetles and things like that was really cool to see, man. I appreciated that little touch, attention to detail with that. Also, the end fight in this movie was a lot better than it was in the animated movie. The end fight in this movie took it up like a whole nother level. Like, the end fight was really good. Everybody was scrapping. Nala was scrapping, man. The hyenas were scrapping, and it was just like everybody. The end fight was a lot better. So, and you can't say it's a spoiler because, like I said, it's literally a shot-by-shot copy of it. Chiwetel Ejiofor's performance as Scar was very believable, and I enjoyed his performance as Scar. And to me, he felt a little bit more menacing, a little bit more dangerous in this, more than he did in the original. I mean, the original, you were afraid of him, but it wasn't really like you know, I'm like terrified of this guy. Chiwetel Ejiofor does his performance with Scar in this movie really just takes it to a different place, and he really embraces the character. James Earl Jones, walk in the park. Mufasa, he's already done it before, and he just does it again. It didn't have the same touch as it did the first time. He's a little bit younger back then, obviously, but it still did the job. It still was James Earl Jones. He did his thing. Beyonce did a so-so job with Nala. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great either. It was just all right to me. All the Bay fans who hate me, I'm sorry. But now that brings me to my negatives. I feel two things that I didn't like was just the musical numbers, man. I didn't like how they did Be Prepared. It was a lot shorter. It didn't have the same pizzazz as the original did. It had all the flair and all that. Just Can't Wait to Be King was done. Hakuna Matata was done very well. Okay, there's something that sounds weird about this. It didn't have the same impact, you know, as the older one did, and I'm gonna give a musical analysis of this, so just so you understand what I'm talking about. I'm not just saying that just to say. I actually have a reason for it. I felt that, for instance, in the chorus, and they were singing, "Can you feel the love tonight?" Right? They're singing that, and in the original, they had backing vocals. They had more singers to really emphasize that. You had more instruments playing a lot of filler parts in the song, creating floats in the music, creating a whole, just made it sound a lot more full in layman's terms for you guys. So it just made it sound a lot more full in that. But in this one, you were missing some of those background vocals, and I know they wanted to focus more on Childish Gambino, his voice, and focus more on Beyonce's voice. But to me, it just felt a little empty. The way how the mix was done, the mixing for some reason for that song, at least for me, from what I heard a couple of times, the music was sort of overtaking the vocals for some reason, and it just didn't have the thing. Another thing too was what I appreciated about the original performance for Can You Feel the Love was the simplicity that it took from both of the singers. The whole chorus and everything was just done simple. It was done nice and clean and all that. So what I'm getting to is, we all know Beyonce can sing. We all know Beyonce can do her thing. She's been running the game for a minute. We all know this. I have no disrespect at all to Beyonce. Like, I respect her as a businesswoman. I respect her as a performer, as a writer, as a singer. You know, I just respect her across the board when it comes to those things. But I felt like she was doing a little overkill in some of the runs in the song. And some people could say it's nitpicking, but to me, it just took away from the importance of it. Childish Gambino, when he did Just Can't Wait to Be King, he sung it straight forward. He did his thing, and towards the end, he was like, wow, and you know, he's doing his Childish Gambino things. Oh, and he's doing his stuff, and it was like, all right, like, he's doing his thing, and he added his little flair towards the end. It wasn't overkill. It was done perfectly. But I felt like Beyonce was just doing a little bit too much in that performance, and that's just me. Not to say that you know, that she's a bad singer or anything. Obviously, we know that's not true. But it just took away from the performance to me. And you know, combining that with the mix, like the post-production work on it, combining that also with the lack of instruments and also backing vocals, and also just like some people that add like sound effects and stuff to the music as well, there's missing some of that. So for me, that's just kind of what took it away from me. It didn't have the same impact, coupled with the visuals that I had with it as well. That entire scene was it's just a little bit underwhelming. When the song was done, I was like, oh man, you know. And going back and watching the original movie, just seeing that performance, you feel like little tears, and you feel the love. You feel the love. You know what I'm saying? Can you feel the love tonight? I was feeling the love, but I wasn't feeling it in the movie. I know I went on a little bit too long about the music part, guys, but you know, a lot of y'all don't know I'm a musician, so music is a huge part of my life, and I've been playing music since I was 4. I've been playing instruments since I've been 4 years old. I'm 22 now, so it's like, I know that's a shocker to some of y'all, but like, it's a huge part of my life. So that's why I was a little bit disappointed by it, because I was expecting more from that. But other than that, obviously, guys, I didn't really have too much negatives with this film. I still left the film loving it. I still left the film enjoying every single moment. Also, Timon and Pumbaa, by far my favorites. Like, I just love, they had me cracking up the entire time. Seth Rogen did a good job as Pumbaa. And I keep forgetting the other guy who plays Timon. I'm supposed to know him, but he also did a good job as Timon. But either way, guys, I'm just going all over the place. But I'm going to rate Lion King right now an 8 out of 10. Go and watch it this weekend. I don't see there's any reason why you shouldn't watch it. and you'll enjoy yourself, man. I think it's a lot of fun. It has a 53% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know why. Well, my speculation is because they didn't change much to the script or add anything new to it, to make it more of a, just to change it up to make it more of like an original content, I guess. I don't know, but either way, it was still good. Go watch it. That's it for my little review section, guys. If you guys want to see more of this, obviously you know what to do. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Please make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Clockmaster out.